first I would like to say I'm a little bit sick this week, so sorry about that. I hope it doesn't sound awful, but it's week 6. No, this is week 7, my bad. Our opponent is ShadowGallade, the one and only of the Carolina Toros heels, who has some pretty scary mons. I'm afraid of that Manaphy. I would say I'm afraid of that, like, Choice Scarf Toxtricity. Annihilate is always kind of a fucking monster. Flareon being able to flame charge is pretty scary as well. All of those things were considerations to me, and I brought some pretty bulky Pokemon in the Donphan and the Florges, with a Key Berry on the Florges, which is meant to use Synthesis versus the Flareon, and get a defense boost, and hopefully be able to take care of it from there. But we also have the Rocky Helmet for Annihilate and Flareon if I just need extra chip or something. And we're actually bringing Dedenne this week, which I was really excited about. I finally get to put it on the board, and it's an Expert Belt set just because, I mean, I was just kind of looking at the draft. There was like Garganical and stuff, so with like Grass Knot and Discharge and Dazzling Gleam, we just hit a lot of things super effectively. So yeah, and then Choice Scarf Urshifu, because it's Choice Scarf Urshifu, and that's all I have to say about that. So oh, and it is just a hyper offense like Dragon Dance setup. I have Terra Dragon Outrage on the Altaria only because there's nothing that really would resist my like stab combination, so I was like, well, let me just, if I can get a Dragon Dance, I'll just nuke something. It's like my final smash. And so I'm going to lead Dedenne here because it seems pretty safe, it outspeeds everything, and I could just kind of U-turn and see what's happening. So my opponent, though, is going to lead the Toxtricity. And you do see here that there's an air balloon, and I did not see that at the time, so I'm afraid of a Choice Scarf. I can't really stay in here because I don't know that it's air balloon, because I'm fucking stupid. So I switched to my Donphan, expecting that it's going to be like a Choice Scarf or something, and I get Sludge Waved, and then I get Boom Bursted, and there's pretty much nothing I can do about that. So Donphan is just going to die immediately, and I'm really sorry about that, but Donphan is the GOAT. He always does work, so he can just take it easy this time, I guess. I'm going to go to my Altaria, and I'm going to take a Volt Switch, is what I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do this turn. I'm just going to take a Volt Switch, and so now I know that there's an air balloon. That's good to know, right? He brings in the Manaphy, and I'm like, oh fuck. I cannot let this thing set up on me for free. So first thing I'm going to do is Terra Dragon, just to make sure I don't fucking die to Ice Beam, like if he does stay in, or if he does go for an attack, but I know he's going to Tail Glow, because I'm kind of forced to switch on the Ice Beam. But I make that read, I Terra Dragon, and I Dragon Dance, and this turn I'm going to go for the Outrage. I'm hoping to God, I don't even think it's a chance to kill Manaphy with like no investment, like 0 HP, just offensive Manaphy. I don't even think it's a roll, so goodbye Altaria. That was embarrassing. Yeah, Altaria is, it's not as bad as I maybe say it is all the time, but it kind of is really hard to use. You have to... Anyways, I'm going to bring in Dedenne just to get the KO on this Manaphy, and Dedenne is going to be on the fucking board, period. So that Manaphy's out of the way. At least Altaria did, like, prevent it from setting up on me for free and sweeping my entire team. So, there's that. I mean, I guess I have Ogerpon, but, anyways. I'll U-turn this time on the Toxtricity and pop the air balloon, because I do know how to play this game, actually, and I know what the air balloon does, I promise. So I'll bring in my Ogerpon, because at this range, Ogerpon is broken, so it can just Ivy Cudgel and kill it, because, I don't know, why wouldn't the mask give it a 20% boost? So he's going to bring in the Annihilate, which I do see coming here. So I'm going to go for the Substitute, because I have a certain special tech this week that is meant specifically to help me out with this Annihilate matchup. I'm going to Ivy Cudgel first. Hear me out. Just let me cook. Hear me out. He's going to go for the Rage Fist into my Substitute. And what I'm going to do this turn, now that my substitute is broken and I cannot kill him with Woodhammer or Ivy Cudgel, I'm going to Spiky Shield. That's right, VGC is in, and we're going to go for the protecting move. And you are going to take the damage, just enough damage, so that the next turn, I can go for... I'm a little bit ahead. Okay, I can go for the Woodhammer, and that's just going to be a guaranteed KO at that range. So, unfortunately, I do die to recoil. I could have gone Power Whip, but I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not fucking missing that shit. So I did have to go Woodhammer, and so we died to recoil, which is sad, but it's fine. My Spiky Shield tech did work, and I'm happy about that. So I'll bring in the Florges here, because it does take a Sludge Wave. Since I know you're not Specs, it is safe to take a Sludge Wave. And I can Psychic or potentially Calm Mind, we'll see. But it is Brambleghast, so I can go for a free Moonblast, which doesn't quite kill Brambleghast, but it's plenty of damage. I get a lucky special attack drop on the Toxtricity. And that kind of sucks, because I don't know if he was going to go for Toxic Spikes in the first place, but after I got the special attack drop, I think it was kind of guaranteed he might as well just get up those Toxic Spikes. And I was looking at it during this game. I Calm Mind here and then I Psychic, so he did get up both layers. I was thinking, I don't know, it's kind of late game, I don't know how much of a difference these Toxic Spikes are really going to make. We'll see about that. So I did Psychic, and the Toxtricity went down. And then he's going to bring in the Brambleghast, which I don't love to see here, because although I do have a Keyberry... Oh, sorry, it's the Flareon. And I Synthesis here, because I was kind of expecting him to, like, Flame Charge, Toxic Orb type shit. And so I'd be able to Synthesis and activate my Keyberry and get a defense boost, but that obviously did not work, because he just went straight for Roar. And that means now all of my Pokemon are going to get badly poisoned. So I'm on a timer. This is not looking amazing, because I know that this Flareon, I see it from a mile away. He's about to Terra Water. I don't, like, what other Terra would you go versus, like, an Urshifu team, to be honest? So I see it coming, and I'm going to U-turn back into my Dedenne, since he did go for Terra Water, and I do have the Expert Belt. Discharge for pretty solid damage. It is Flareon with it's a bulky Flareon, and it has a pretty high special defense stat, so we're not like one-hit KOing or anything. And unfortunately, he reveals to be a Wish Protect set.
Oh lord.
And I'm like, oh my god, can I fucking beat this thing? Because look at how much damage Discharge does. Well, actually, wait a minute and see how much it does after the Protect. Discharge does like 50-60% maybe, and I'm like, okay, 30% chance for paralysis. I have a lot to talk through, by the way. These turns go a little bit slow. Okay, that's like 60-70%, I would say. And I do know he's going to Protect here, or like I see it coming, but I don't know for certain that he doesn't have Flare Blitz or something. So I don't want to switch in Florges, because
nothing new, nothing
I would
changed,
say it's a little more important, I guess, than Dedenne. I'm not sure if that's factual, but I didn't want to switch in because I was like, what if you just Flare Blitz? So I'll make a slightly aggressive play since I don't know what your last move is. I think this thing learns Play Rough or something. But I'll just switch into the Urshifu, because I'm like, you're probably not doing any damage to me. And I would just like to start applying pressure, because I'm not applying pressure with the Dedenne at the moment. And here, again, I see from a mile away, you're just going to switch on the Ghost type, because I have to close combat this Flareon. So, I'm going to go for the U-turn. I'm making, like, good plays, by the way. I feel like I played very well, considering all of these, like, Toxic Spike circumstances, and losing Donphan super early, and Altaria not really doing much. I feel like I'm, like, definitely making the right plays to get back in this game. So I will U-turn on the Brambleghast. It does a critical hit, which doesn't seem like it ends up mattering, because he is just going to go for the Strength Sap here. and I am like obviously a modest or like a minus attack nature. I don't really know what nature, but it's not going to heal him all the way to full, and Moonblast is just barely going to miss that KO. So that kind of sucks, but here I'm like, I don't really, you're going to activate my Keyberry, so I'm just going to start setting up on you, I guess. I can Calm Mind and Synthesis like one time with a defense boost. He's going to miss the Poltergeist, so that was pretty cool. I get a free Calm Mind, and then he's going to miss the Poltergeist again. So yeah, I was super lucky, actually. This Florges is not even done with the luck, and I do apologize to ShadowGallade, because I'm not gonna lie, I got 4 very favorable turns with this Florges. So he missed 2 Poltergeists, and then he's gonna bring in the Yuxi, which is gonna start setting up on me, and I'm gonna go for the Moonblast because I'm at +1. That's like basically all I can do because I'm toxic and I'm gonna die soon. I'll Moonblast, get the special attack drop, obviously, and then he's gonna, this is literally so fucking funny because he looks to be a very bulky set, and he did get the drop, so he's at neutral instead of +1, and he's gonna go for the Draining Kiss. Yeah, that's right, Draining Kiss did 15 damage to my Florges. And I'm not gonna lie, if it was me, I probably would have Draining Kissed there too. So that was kind of a throw, but also not really like it was not illogical to Draining Kiss there. But I'll Moonblast and literally get another special attack drop before I die. So yeah, Florges, she was not having any of it. She was like, you know what, fine, you can poison me, but you're gonna get special attack drop, you're gonna miss, fuck you. So now I have to bring in my Urshifu. I know I can't kill it with Surging Strikes, so I'm gonna have to U-turn and sack the Dedenne. And then I'm like, well, I can only kill this Yuxi with Surging Strikes. Or U-turn, I suppose. But I don't think U-turn is really gonna be enough on the Flareon. Or probably U-turn and Surging Strikes are about the same damage on the Flareon. I don't know, maybe I should have calced it before I just like clicked Surging Strikes, but in my mind I'm like, okay, I basically just click Surging Strikes, and the Flareon obviously can't use Protect because I'm Urshifu, and for once in Urshifu's Smogon singles lifetime, the ability is going to come in handy. So I don't know, I'm just like, I'll just click the button and see if I can kill the Flareon in time before I die to Toxic. And I'm like, oh, that's not doing as much as I thought it would. He's obviously like impish nature, like max defense or something. I don't really know, but he goes for the wish here, obviously, knowing that he can easily take 2 of these. And he's gonna actually go for the Protect, which I don't know if he forgot about the ability this time or something, but he does go for the Protect. I'm speeding up this clip here because I'm already struggling to fill the space with all of this stall content for you. He's gonna go for Protect, and I just hit right through it. I don't know if he forgot about it that time, but he apparently doesn't seem to have any attacking move to hit my Urshifu, because he's gonna do the exact same thing again and go for the Wish Protect. So I don't know. He could have attacked that turn, I guess. I don't really know. He didn't have a move to hit me, and I just Surging Strikes is just barely going to get the KO on the last hit. And that's the game. That was week 7 versus ShadowGallade. Kind of an intense one, to be honest. Didn't look very good in the first couple of turns, but I definitely pulled it back. I had a little bit of luck to help me, but I also think that I played some really good Pokemon. So team preview is coming up. Alright, so this week was a little tough, I think. The draft below is a bit tricky, and our old friend Bramblegast is back from jail where he was after the last time we saw him, because he wasn't supposed to be on that team anyways. So with Altaria this week, I went for a more hyper-offensive set, only because there is the Ursaluna Blood Moon, and there's the Garganical, there is the Intimidate Hitmonlee, there's the Dragonite, So I could have gone special, but then it's a lot harder to like boost my damage and my speed because I need to run agility and like throat spray or something. So I still wanted to do Dragon Dance with the Citrus Berry, and we just didn't went for Terra Dragon Outrage because that's as hard as I can possibly hit. And I don't know. It seemed like if Altaria was gonna be walled by something, I might as well like get a big chunk of damage. So Ogerpon just looks really good here. I mean, nothing on this team is actually super fast. I believe Manaphy is the fastest at 100. So, although they can all boost, obviously, or they could be like Choice Scarf Toxtricity or something, but Ogerpon just looks really good here. It just whacks things, and I went ahead with the Substitute Spiky Shield set because, well, the same reasons actually, because the Annihilate, the Dragonite, the Garganical, all of those things are really bulky, have potential to take an attack, or the Hitmonlee, and it'd be nice to just get some chip on them first. And then Woodhammer doesn't have to do quite as much recoil. Dedenne, this is the first time I'm bringing Dedenne. It looked really good. I mean, it's 101 base speed, so it just exactly outspeeds everything on this team. It also hits most of them super effectively with Discharge and Dazzling Gleam and Grass Knot. And then the pivot is just always good. It's a really simple set, Expert Belt, for extra super effective damage. And yeah, I was really excited to bring it. And I think it did like fairly some work, I would say. I could have popped that balloon on turn 1, but whatever. Donphan is just Rocky Helmet. Again, those physical attackers are really scary this week. And yes, the Manaphy is also scary, but again, I have the Ogerpon. If you want to set up, then that means I can outspeed you and just one-hit KO. The Dragonite is pretty scary, so, you know, Rocky Helmet Donphan really helps with that. Of course, we can hit it with Ice Spinner. And Rapid Spin Stealth Rock, just good utility, which I did not get to use because... well, you saw what happened. Choice Scarf Urshifu, that's basically just to catch any speed boosters. So like if Dragonite gets off a Dragon Dance, then it KOs me, then I can come in and go for the Ice Spinner. You know, Choice Scarf Toxtricity is a pretty common set, things like that. So I wanted to go Choice Scarf. I'm just Adamant Nature, so he hit everything very hard. And yeah, Florges, I think it looks good. I mean, Manaphy is Manaphy, so I wanted to be able to like switch in, maybe set up a Calm Mind to be able to take those hits better. And same with Toxtricity, without a Choice Specs, it's never really threatening a KO on me. So with the Key Berry, I was figuring I could stay in on a physical attacker and take the hit and Synthesis, and then I'd be in a better position from there. But obviously he ran the bulky utility Roar Flareon, which I was not expecting at all. So yeah, you know, that's how that went. The EV spreads are a little more simple this week. I'm usually like, whenever I have leftover speed, I'll go to the calc and like test all the calculations and be like, where can this make the biggest difference? But honestly, I don't know. I didn't do that this week, and it still worked out. So yeah, that's all. Week 8 is coming up, and that was a pretty good game too. So